Good morning, everybody. How are you today? You're all good. Alright, so it is very nice to hear that you're all good and well. So for today, we will be learning a new lesson. We will be learning something new. Does that sound amazing? Amazing, of course. So, before we formally start with our discussion, of course, let us first have our prayer to be led by Miss Jolly Joy. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you so much, Miss Jolly Joy, for that powerful prayer. I hope that as we go on with our discussion for today, we will be guided with that powerful prayer. Okay, so of course, before you sit down, kindly pick up the pieces of treasures you find on your area. And then after that, you may now sit down. Okay, so I want you to look at your seatmate. Are there any absents? No one? Wow, you're all present. With that, I can see that you are all excited and you are all well prepared for today's discussion. Am I correct? Okay, so now, before we start with, let us first have our classroom rules. So our classroom rules is, first, respect everyone by listening, speaking kindly, and valuing each other's idea. Second, follow instruction the first time they are given. Third, be responsible for your tasks, materials, and of course, your behavior. And lastly is stay focused and participate actively in class activities. So, as we go on today with our discussion, please be guided with our classroom rules. Are you following, class? Are the classroom rules clear? Okay, for today, we will be discussing something new. And what do you think is that? So first, let's have our activity. This is our motivation activity. So the instruction is I want you to guess a picture. I will show you pictures that contains a word, or this picture contains the information that I want you to guess today. So there will be several pictures that I'll be showing, and then after that, what you will do is you have to guess each picture. Of course, each picture represents a word or represents a sentence or a word. So what you're gonna need to do is you have to guess it correctly, and of course, when you answer, you have to raise your hands. Are my instruction clear? Okay, so I am happy that you are all following well. So, for our first activity, let us have our mystery pieces. Okay, so this is our mystery pieces. Anyone can answer, okay? You just have to raise your hand. And then, of course, guess whatever is being shown here or whatever this picture represents. Are my instruction clear? Okay, so here is our mystery pieces. So anyone who knows the answer of this? Anyone? Anyone can answer, okay? You just have to raise your hand. Yes, Miss Banzuelo. What do you think it is? Of course, so for today, our discussion will be about what? Will be about creating infographics using words. So we have learned a lot about word, about what can it offer or what can it do to us. There are things that we still don't know about word. So for today, we will be figuring that out. And this is one of the activity. Okay. We will explore more on what word can offer to us, and creating infographic is one of that. Okay, so, but first let us have our learning objectives. For us to be guided during our discussion, let us first have our objectives. Here is our objectives. So at the end of the lessons, the student should be able to identify infographics and its key elements through observation of sample visuals. So later on, I'll be showing to you samples of infographics. Second, explore Microsoft Word's tools and interface by creating infographics. So we'll be doing this activity today. Third, show appreciation on the importance of infographics through a reflection. So for today, we will be achieving all these objectives. Okay, so to start with our discussion for creating infographics using a word, what do you think tool is what do you think the kind of tool that we will be using today? Yes, Miss Manlangit. You are saying text. Could that be correct? What else? What else? Huh? Color? Background? Yes, you are all correct. For Manlangit, for saying text, background, and color, of course, we will be discussing that as well, or we will be learning that as well. So, for our discussion, here it is. We have the elements and tools in Word for creating what? Infographics. Okay, so our learning objectives for today are, at the end of the lessons, the students should be able to identify an infographic and its key elements through observation of samples. Later on, I'll be showing to you samples of infographics. And then second, explore Microsoft Word's tools and interface by creating infographics. Third, show appreciation on the importance of infographics through a reflection. As part of this discussion in creating infographics using Word, of course, we will have to discuss the essential elements and tools for creating infographics. First, we have what? Text. So it is used for titles, headings, content, to clearly organize and of course explain the information. So in text, this is where we input everything or every idea that we have. So in text, we can change the color, the font size, and of course the font depending on our mood, and of course not just our mood but depending on the theme or the ideas or the topic that we will be making. Second, we have images. When we see images, it makes us think about what the image is all about, or this image conveys something this image is all about. So by seeing images or visual presentation, of course, we can interpret what it is all about. So it says here, visually support ideas and make the infographics more engaging and of course more understanding. So by adding images, of course, it helps us convey our message more. Alright, so it makes other people or makes people see or interpret what your message is all about. Am I clear? Okay. So third, we have the icons and shapes. So in Word, we see a lot of shapes and of course icons. So later on, I will show you a video where I'm gonna show you the different icons and shape, and of course it highlights key points, separates sections, and add visual appeal. So in our infographics, when we make our infographics, we don't just merely put there a text and of course a image. When we want to add sections or we want to put our text in a certain box or in a certain circle, of course, we will apply the icons and shape because we have charts and graphs and it presents data clearly showing comparisons and trends at a glance. So when you are presenting a statistic, of course, you can choose in Word charts and graphs. We also have lines and dividers, so it separates content and guide the readers to focus more. So we also have background color, so it enhances readability and create cohesive design. So in background, whatever theme or whatever topics that we have, of course, we have to incorporate what background or colors are we gonna be using. So in layout tools, this is where we use or we change or we choose the kind of bond paper that we want to integrate in our infographics. So we have landscape, portrait, we can change the size, and we can also change the what? The margin. Okay, so I have here an example of infographic. So this is one of there are two pala. So these are the examples of infographics. So here we have, first one is, this is an infographics and advocacy infographics. And this one is a relation infographic. So during our purpose of communication, so we were asked to make infographics or advocacy and make it as infographics. So this is one of the things that I made. So I made infographics for my advocacy, and my advocacy is all about conserving water. What elements did I use here is I use images, text, I also have icons and shapes. So here, of course, color and also background. So I inputted image here, and this image is all about a mountain. So I inputted an image here, and the image is all about mountain, as you can see. So why I think of mountain as an image, it's because this is where we get our natural resources, and one of that is water, right? Are you following, class? Okay, so of course text, the text also varies on the information, so depending on where you put your text. So here you put here your text. I diri din ako siya gibutang. It's because to make it more relevant, that to make a voice more that the water really needs to be conserved. And here I also have my text here for the, what do you think, the drip or the drip. I also have icon, the gripo or the, what's the English of gripo? Basta the gripo is the one of the icon, and here I also have the kanang murag shadow siya sa water. And then of course shapes here, shapes, I put shapes, and also a person drinking water. So of course I have here second, where the second one really uses the shapes. The shapes, he integrated, or she integrated the shape circle, and this is a relation infographics where he used shape to connect the ideas, as you can see. So probably the topic, and then the subheaders or the subtopics that this person has. So this is one of the examples. So you can make your own infographics. I have already shown to you. So since we already also have discussed the elements and tools, of course you have to remember and how to use it. And of course with the guide, make your own. So for our activity 2, you will have to group yourselves into 4, starting counting from the back. And then after you are done counting, you may now proceed to your group mates, and then think of any advocacies that you want to be voiced out. Or then after that, you present it in the front, but not just the advocacy, a plain advocacy. I want you to integrate the infographics. Make the advocacy and then make it shorter by the infographics. So you will put all the necessary information of your advocacy here. You can choose whatever shapes, whatever images, whatever text you want to integrate. Okay, you can just put anything, but remember, you have to do it clearly, or you have to make it clearly. You have to make your infographics attractive, and of course the message should be clear. Are my instructions clear? Okay, so you may start counting from the back and proceed to your groups. I will give you 5 minutes, or no, 10 minutes to do this. And after that, we will be presenting in front. I want every group to present in front. So all of you will present and give thoughts about why did you use that topic. Of course, why did you also use that, why did you use that infographics, or why did you use that shapes, that images. You have to explain it that way, okay? And please be guided with our rubrics. I will also give it to you. Here is our rubrics. Okay? That is our rubric. So, as you do your activities, please be guided with the rubric. And now, since you're done with your activities, I want the group 1 to please present. Thank you so much, group 1. How about the group 2? Okay, so the group 2 also integrated a very nice infographic. So they really did make a very nice infographic, and the message is very clear. How about group 3? And now, I want you to give yourselves a go, 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 todo na to, clap. Shall we do that? Okay, so this is how we do it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go, 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 todo na to. Okay, so it is very good that you are following well. I can see that you really integrated all the lessons, all the discussions that we have for today. First, you guess what the activity is all about. Second, you created or you made your own infographics where you also made your own advocacy to be heard of. And then, of course, you also did a reflection. So that is very nice of you, class. I can see that you are really all equipped with all the necessary information, with all the necessary knowledge for today's discussion. So I hope that whatever you learn from this class will not be wasted, okay? I want you to research more about what word really offers or what words can really do, because I know that word has really something or has a lot more to offer, and not just the infographics, not just making our documents, but of course making a lot of things. So I hope that we will continue to discover and of course to explore the word, because it not just offer one thing, but many and a lot of things depending on your creativity. So of course you have to find that in yourself, your creative side, because in any one of us there's always that creative side that we have. We just have to look and find it inside our heart. Okay, class? Are you getting or are you learning something from this discussion? From making our infographics, are you learning something? Thank you so much, class. And of course, let's have our short quiz. Okay, here is our... Okay. And I'll give you 5 minutes to do that. And you may now pass your paper. Okay, thank you so much, class. I hope that you learned something, and I hope also that it will not just be wasted, but you will have to what? Research more. Thank you so much, and goodbye, class.